There's an episode where there's a kid and he has an older brother. So then they have a sleepover, and to pick on the friends, they make them masturbate in a circle onto a cookie.
Oh God!
So wait, they watch a porno.
I don't know if this is good for our
no, it's funny though. So like you should watch it. So they watch this. It was the weirdest thing. And then and then I Googled. Well, I'm in a group chat, and then someone
just don't
Googled
tell
it.
me they eat the cookie.
They didn't. Thank God.
Okay, good.
But
whoa. Did someone else?
No.
Like an accident? They thought it was an Oreo? Oh. That's so gross. New definition to the cream in the middle.
I know. They never got to that point. But I didn't know that was a thing until someone in a group chat posted like cooking, and apparently that's like a thing.
Wait, like, people cook?
So it's like a cookie. It's called like cooking or something like
cooking.
That. Yeah. And then basically...
How did they not just call it Boo Cookie? Like, come on.
So, right? But like basically the last person that ejaculates on the cookie has to eat it.
So wait. So wait, this is a weird game.
I mean, I like the sweet and salty, but that's just nasty.
Whoa, Courtney.
That is wrong too.
Whoa, Courtney. I've been gone a long time. I guess I was shocked. No, I was gonna say
so Circle of Dicks made me think about that.
Weird.
Sorry.
Only that game is weird. You know why?
Jess is weird.
Well, it's weird. No,
it's sick.
Well, listen, I like to okay. I'm not logistics of this game. The problem with this game, and the reason why that game is definitely a game made by kids. You know why? You know why?
Why?
It's a game that punishes the person who takes the longest to ejaculate.
Yes.
When you're an adult, you're a winner.
That's the best.
That's the best thing in the world.
You're the winner.
If you take a long time to ejaculate, you're a champ.
Yeah, you're a champ.
You get all of it.
This conversation right here makes me so glad I'm not a guy.
I know.
You guys do gross crap.
Oh yeah.
No,
I did not do stuff like that. That's
I
terrible.
I never did. I'm just talking about the fact that in real life, whenever you have to hear a woman say, "Was that it?" that you're the real loser.
You're like
not a loser. You lost.
In your mind, you don't want to tell her that as a kid, there's this thing called cooking, and it's like that's the only way you could avoid.
All I know is I'm not gonna look at Oreos a different way.
No, I haven't had a cookie since. I'm not gonna lie.
Get ready.
So, welcome to another episode of Noosh Sucks at First Dates. How's that? I can't even...
Oh, was that the reason why?
No.
Is that the big reveal?
No, that's not the reveal. I just couldn't think of an episode title, so I just threw out literally the first...
Sucks at First Dates.
Why can't I think
Wow, you must have really changed if you can't think of an episode title.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Welcome to another episode of whatever I just said before. I'm one of the hosts, Danushka Kumara Singha. Today we've got Courtney Rajan,
Hello.
Ken Tran,
Hey.
Brendan Kidney, and our guest for today is Chioki Walker.
Hello.
So getting into it, though, the analogy for today is going to be if we were one of the 5 original Power Rangers, which would we be, okay? By the way, I'm going to tell you this for next time.
Okay.
And Corny, you can't make me do an improv session for this because you have to think about this. What I want to do one of these days is I want to do if we were... I'm not going to mention it.
Why do you keep building up and then just letting it just go, oh, I'm not going to go through
Because that's what I do to all women. I build up
Oh,
and then
wow.
I under-deliver.
Thanks for telling us all of that.
Wow.
Now we got...
okay,
First dates.
Was that it? Yeah, that was it. No.
Dude, what happened to you, man?
I know. I really want to know
What happened?
Next
You
time,
gotta tell us at some
Next time,
point.
I'm gonna do if we were California freeways.
California
What would we do?
freeways.
That would be good. Okay, but I have to really think about that. But Power Rangers for today. So,
Okay.
what would we be? Okay, look. First off, getting it out of the way. Courtney. Mm-hmm. Do you know who you are?
Whichever one was the smart one.
The blue one.
Yeah, you're Billy.
I'm
Billy.
Billy?
You're Billy because he's the smartest of the Power Rangers.
I don't think I'm Billy.
You're not the bullied gay kid.
He really was though. But yeah, I mean, anyway, this is stereotypes anyway.
That's true.
This is me thinking about this while I'm driving to the show. Now Chioki, by the way, I was thinking like, dude, which one would Chioki be? I want to take this off the table. You know why?
Okay.
Because everybody is a dick. And I don't want them to think like Noosh is going to stereotype Chioki. I'm going to say this. First of all, I'm Zach. I'm Zach, the Black Ranger.
I was definitely going to be the Black.
No.
I have to pick the Black Ranger, though.
You know why? Here's the thing. I was going to say Black Ranger, but you know why, though? One, I wanted to be like, well, here's the thing. At first, I was going to be like, guys, I want to apologize and say this is going to be fucked up, but Chioki's a Black Ranger. But no, I think, you know who I think you were going to be? And you can correct me.
Who?
I think you're Trini. Because the reason why is I think of you as being the most chill out of everybody here. And Trini was really chill. I mean, she had...
Which one was she?
Yellow Ranger.
Yellow Ranger.
Yeah, she
That's
was,
what
I mean,
thought.
she was super chill. She
was.
went with
Saber-tooth
whatever.
tiger, right?
I mean, actually, Trini is the only one, I think, who could
She was the
hung
Black
out.
Ranger in the movie.
Yeah,
Well, she was the
She was-
Black Ranger
right, she
with
was-
the yellow...
She was the Black Ranger.
Yes.
Yeah. She was the Black Yellow Ranger.
Yes.
But, I mean, it's because... You know, Trini was the only one who could go with anybody. Like everybody, like for example, Zach and Billy is kind of like that's a weird hangout. Like,
Yeah, good
but
point.
Trini can hang out with literally anybody, and it makes sense. Like it's like it's Trini, and that's kind
Aw.
of you. Like you're chill, you can hang out with anybody.
I'm flattered.
You know? Yeah, man. That's how I.
So I could be Trini. I could be her in the Ivan Ooze Power Rangers.
But that wasn't Trini. That was Aisha, right?
I'm cool with that.
Aisha's
Yeah.
secondary one.
I mean, I guess you could see. Aisha is just chocolate Trini. I mean, she's just
chocolate
she's
Trini?
just chocolate Trini. It sounds like a drink, kind of. But
You know,
she's
you had almost saved it from going there. But
I did. I almost did. But I mean, it's. I like to think though I would be Zach. You know. I mean, I don't know. I think Zach's cooler than me though. But I like to. I don't know. Man, how am I Zach? I don't know. I'm not sure. I like to be. I want to be Zach. Maybe I'm an aspirational Zach.
I
you
think-
got into a fight and decided maybe dancing will work?
Maybe.
You're gonna dance your way out of the fight.
Well, Ken, I was gonna say that you would be Kimberly, only because of two reasons.
Because I do
He
gymnastics.
is wearing pink today.
I
You
am.
are.
I am.
He does have on
Oh,
pink.
dude, I got black. You got some yellow on you? No, you don't.
Do I? Wait. No,
No.
yellow, orange.
But no, only be two reasons. One, you're the pretty face in the group in this whole thing, and
Thank
two, Kimberly does that thing that freak out anxiety voice where she's just like, "Oh man, guys, oh man, oh man, oh man," like, and I've had you do that on the show before.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm always freaked out.
And Brendan, you know who you are.
The annoying robot.
No, well, you know that would have been that. No, I'm nice. He's Jason. The
Jason?
one who's most like, or Tommy. He's Jason Antron. He's the Christmas Ranger. He's
the
green
Christmas
and red.
Ranger.
You know, he's gonna drop kick something. He's that guy.
Hold on, it's from that set of episodes when the Green Ranger lost his power and the Red Ranger had the dragon dagger, the sword, and the shield.
That's
armor.
you. That's you, dude. You're that guy. You're like Super Saiyan Red Ranger, Green Ranger.
Yeah.
All right. So our guest for today's episode is Chioki Walker. Chioki, tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little about myself.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Chioki. I'm the chocolate yellow ranger.
Yeah. You're Aisha.
I'm Aisha. From Oakland. I moved to LA about 3 years ago for actually to go to school.
Oh yeah.
Where I
This
met-
one or a different one?
Yeah, this one.
This one. Okay.
I played college basketball, so I went to like 4 schools in 5 years, which I don't recommend for anybody. But it was fun because I got to meet a lot of people.
Did you play ball here?
No, I didn't. I came here because like my eligibility was up at that point, and I just was like, I tried to go pro the year before I came here, and it was a lot harder than I thought. So I just said, you know what, I don't want to, be like 30 years old and then go back to school and then get my degree. So I said I'd rather get it now, and graduated last year. Got a job pretty quick and just
Nice.
decided to stay in LA,
Yeah.
and I love it. So many beautiful people. I like the grind of everybody out here. I really enjoy that. It's like everybody is kind of doing this different things, but all like the grind is still the same. Like everybody,
It's work hard, play hard.
yeah, exactly. Like
I gotta get to the play hard part. Like I'm still working towards that.
I was gonna say you're in the right. That is one thing I did notice working in PR.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been there for a year, so I got it like a couple months after I graduated, and I do notice that a lot. Like we have happy hours like twice a month.
The thing about PR is that in most jobs, there's a boundary between work and socializing. PR blends it. All of a sudden, socializing becomes a part of the job.
Right.
So I went out to get drinks with a coworker, right? And I just talked and just told all kinds of crazy new stories, you know? I mean, I'll tell you one example of a story I told. I mean, I think I told even worse stories, but here's the one I'm gonna share. But there's one time, right? One of my old companies had like tight security, like really tight security.
Yeah.
The point where every time you walk in, every time you walk out, security check, bag check,
Jesus
metal
Christ.
detector, everything. It was crazy, right? I worked there for like 7 years basically. It was like a long time. So I remember one of the things is this, right? You know, I have a laptop bag with a laptop, take it home every night, and yeah, you know.
Well, you have a laptop in your laptop bag?
Yeah. Surprise!
I was just kidding.
Surprise, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I have a laptop and a laptop that I put in my laptop bag.
I have a laptop bag right here with no laptop. So sometimes you don't have a laptop.
You had a laptop bag and a laptop.
By the way, this
trying to do a tongue twister. Didn't really
This
work.
is the laptop from this store, or the laptop bag from this store.
So this is a famous laptop.
This is a famous laptop bag. Okay, so this laptop bag that I have with me, basically, as I'm walking out the door, right, there's a lady who is doing the security checks, right? And the thing is, I forgot that that last weekend, I took all my stuff, my work stuff out of the bag, and I just took my laptop on a trip, like a weekend trip kind of thing. So she's looking through the bag, she sees the laptop, you know, in it, whatever, and you know, whatever, she's looking through my pockets in the bag. So she looks in one of the big pockets, and she just stares down at it for a long time. I'm like, why is she staring so long? So I stare down at it, and what we're both staring at, what she finds in there, are 3 condom packets. and so we're both staring down for a moment. I'm just like, oh man. And so she looks up at me with just like a WTF kind of a look, and I just kind of like shrug my shoulders like this, my hands out, and I'm just like, always be prepared. and she has the most like annoyed look in her face. She's like,
When I first started being sexually intimate, I always thought it was so awkward for me to get up and then go get a condom that it kind of like killed the mood, you know?
Yeah.
So what I did was I would put condoms in my pillowcase, right?
Oh.
So, you know, when it's going on, I just reach back and just pull it out, and then it's already there. I don't have to go anywhere, do anything. So then one day it's about to go down, and I don't know why this girl did this, but it's like she went back and then she was like, "What's this in your pillow?" And then just pulled out just a bunch of condoms. Just I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking.
Her head was literally
so her head's on the pillow, but I put it like under, so it's not like on the top. I was strategic with it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, she had some cushion.
Yeah, so she like laid back like this, like put her hand behind her head, and then it was so weird, dude. But anyway, it was so awkward. Like I didn't want to explain to her my method, like, oh, this is what I do, you know what I mean? Before
May I suggest a nightstand?
You know what? When you're 17, it's like I don't know. I just thought it was cool. Like I just have it in my pillow. I was like, I invented something.
Yeah.
I felt like the man until that time, and then I started using nightstand.
There you go.
Well,
but the pillowcase at the time just seemed like the best idea in the world. Like I told all my boys, like, here's what y'all need to do.
You're the expert.
by the way, I love the 17-year-old expert. Like among your boys, you're the doctor. You know these
this
things.
is what you need to do, fellas.
And they're just like, you're a genius, Chioki.
Like, oh, yeah,
why didn't I think of that? Oh man.
Till I got caught, and I'm just looking like a fucking weirdo. Like, why do you have condoms in your pillowcase? Like, and you know. At the time, she's not thinking I do that because it's awkward to get up and go get a condom. I was
She's
like,
just
I
like,
didn't even know those were there. How did they get there?
No,
She's
but
like, I know, right? It's weird.
Either she's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
think
so
like
weird.
this guy is some kind of player and I'm just one of many, or she's gonna think this guy's a freaking weirdo for sleeping on condoms.
I'm cool with either one.
You're okay with her thinking you like to sleep on condoms?
I'm cool with either one.
So the topic for today's episode
Dun dun dun.
is Pets 2. This is the sequel to our Pets episode.
Yes.
This is Pets 2. We did an
I
old.
just thought
Pets
it was
2.
Yeah, it's
sick. I
Pets.
thought it was sick.
Pets the
story.
sequel.
All right, so I will start this this story. Right. So the story that I want to tell you guys about it's called George and Max, a love story.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
George and Max.
It's gonna make me cry.
I mean, it definitely ends with death. I'll tell you that.
Well, pet stories, I hate to say,
I feel like
they
they do.
usually do.
If you ever watch a movie about a pet, it's probably gonna die.
Yes.
Aw.
Garfield didn't die.
Andre didn't
He
die.
should have.
Garfield's not real.
Garfield's not real.
Okay, so
He doesn't age like Danushka.
Oh, yeah, he's like
As in,
me.
he
Yeah,
doesn't age like you.
Yeah, damn right. I mean, when I was like 22, I looked 14. You know, like that
There you
was
go.
what I did. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna start off with just saying this, guys.
Let's hear it.
George Clooney has a pig.
George Clooney has a pig, or he is a pig.
George Clooney has a
Both.
pig.
Okay.
He has a pig. So back in 1988, George was doing the Roseanne show, right? He was playing Roseanne's boss. That was his
Okay.
role. This is before he blew up, right? And this, because remember, I think he blew up doing
ER.
ER, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
shit.
hospital show. That's when he blew up. But this is before that. So he was playing Roseanne's boss. During one episode, they had to make it seem like there were giant rats scurrying around on the floor in the episode.
Okay.
So what they did was they got baby pigs. The baby pigs, the piglets, they like substituted in as the rats scurrying around, right? So-
Okay. Trying to see how that would really.
Well, because think about it, the camera's not going to be able to see them that well. They're going to see the scurrying, but not really a
yeah,
good shot
I
of the
guess.
pigs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And baby pigs are really small,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
So George was told that the piglets were miniature pigs that wouldn't even get very big. They're going to just stay very small. Like they're going to fit in a purse. That's okay.
of course we all know
Yes.
that the ending of that. There's no such thing as a mini pig.
Yeah. So this is George Clooney's quote. He said, "It's 1988, before anyone has ever even heard of miniature pigs, and yeah, he became miniature compared to a prize-winning hog." This pig that George got, it was a Vietnamese pot-bellied pig that grew to be 300 pounds.
Jeez.
Good God.
Oh yeah, I can carry that in my bag.
It's
Right.
it was so big that Clooney has said that usually when he's like walking around his mansion,
His mansion.
Shit.
he has to like step around the pig because the pig just takes up so much room everywhere. Like he has to live around the pig.
Oh, poor George. I feel so
Oh,
sorry
my
for
mansion,
him.
I have this pig.
Exactly. Oh, woe is me.
Jesus, you guys are hating on George. What did the
Damn,
man
but
ever
you-
do to you,
Man, the guy needed to pay for his pig. Like
He lives in a whole mansion. He has to walk fully around it. He can
He's
go to the
taking-
other side of the room.
he's taking good care of that pig, right?
I guess.
Pig needs a home.
Yeah, I mean-
than any of us do.
If I was a pig, I want to live
that
with
pig
George.
lives better than most of us
I was just
do.
getting ready
Yeah.
to say
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
that pig.
If I
a-
had to be a pig,
If I was a pig, I want to
You'd be
live with George
George-
I'd
Clooney's
be
house.
George Clooney's
yeah,
pig for
you'd be
sure.
George Clooney's pig. Yeah.
I'll be George, not that girl. Okay, George, that girl. My pig's down with you.
I mean, speaking of which, George decided to gift the piglet to his girlfriend at the time, Kelly Preston.
Yes.
So that
Oh,
was supposed to be a
that
gift.
was many females ago.
That was yeah.
I was like, when did he date Kelly? I was
A
like,
long time
1988.
ago.
He dated her for 1 month in 1988. The month he got the
That's
pig.
John Travolta's
he-
wife, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She broke up with him to go with John Travolta.
Grease.
Yeah. I mean,
was the hair.
so he
Pulp
gave
Fiction.
her the pig, and then she was like, well, after she broke up with George, she's like, well, you keep the pig. And then she went to marry John Travolta, and George was like, all right, well, I'm keeping the pig then. George named the pig Max the Star. That's the name of the pig, Max the Star. And yeah, George, he loved that pig. On the topic of George's love life, many people believe that the reason George moved from woman to woman is because none of his girlfriends could live with a pig. I mean, straight up, like people have said, like this whole thing about how George can't keep a woman because he's a player, you know, he's like a ladies' man. That's that whole
It was
thing.
because of the pig.
And then people have said like, oh, he doesn't want to marry, he wants to be like a permanent bachelor, that sort of thing. But, like some people said, no, dude, it's because of the pig. Like no woman wants to live with this pig.
How bad is the pig, though? Really? Like, what do
It's a
pigs do?
mansion.
Okay, well, I mean, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly. It's a
thank you.
mansion.
Just avoid that area of the mansion.
Yeah, wherever the pig is in the mansion, don't go there. I agree.
I'm gonna elaborate on things George and the pig do.
Oh,
that
God,
is gonna
this is
add.
gonna
Yeah,
be
this is George's love life, and I'm not even talking about the women necessarily, even, you know. But I mean, okay, so yeah, I mean, some people have said, right, like the pig is the reason George can't keep
Instead of a side
lady.
chick, he has a side pig.
He has a side pig.
He's a side pig.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, the thing is, you
got side
the women are jealous of Max.
You got side swine.
Side swined. Hashtag side swined. He's got his side swine.
His side swine.
But I
Should
mean,
be the name of the show.
his ex-girlfriend Elizabeth Daly confirmed that his girlfriends always came second to the pig.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, she said, quote, "He loved that pig like nothing else. It was the size of a table. Absolutely huge. I would just be hanging around George's house with his giant pig chilling out beside us. It had its own special pen, and at night it would sleep on the floor right beside George's bed.
Oh my God.
Sometimes it got in that bed with him.
Oh.
They were so close, it was like father and son."
Well, I mean, I can't really be like, ugh, it's gross, because I'm like,
I found a picture. He's there at the pool together.
I think that's not even his full size, dude. I think
No, that's not his full
younger.
size. That's like
If you look at how old George looks in those
like a
pictures,
warthog.
the younger he looks, then the smaller the pig is. Because by the time the pig got to be
I gotta Google
as
this.
old as it was, like, I'll say this, the pig got to be 19 years old.
wow.
That's when it really peaked in its size, you know? So the pig is so big, and it runs around. It's like running full speed around the house. It squeals angrily every time George tries to put him on a diet. And also, when the pig plants itself, that's it. You're moving around the pig at that point because he's not going to move.
Oh my God.
The pig likes to eat until it can't move anymore.
It's a pig.
It's a pig. I mean, and even though George has tried to keep it healthy and like put it on a diet and everything,
Yeah.
he gets mad if you don't feed it
Okay,
until it's.
who's the human? Who's the animal?
I mean, it's more like who's the father, who's the son. He spoiled his kid.
Yeah,
rotten.
that too.
hey, there's a picture of him with Kelly Preston and the pig on a bike.
Is it a piglet picture?
Yeah.
So
It's not even a cute pig.
it's like this big. I think it's like black and white, but mostly black.
It was cute in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah, it was. Each morning it wakes up, lays across the doorway, squealing loudly until someone feeds it. So basically this 300-pound pig is squealing loudly
Oh my
until
God.
somebody feeds it. George said that he hadn't needed an alarm clock in 2 decades.
Oh my God.
Every morning that pig's going to wake him up. George was once asked about this, about how he's able to like have a normal life,
Yeah.
have like a girlfriend or a wife, and have this pig. And George's quote is, I think he said this to Oprah, actually.
Great.
He said, "Love me, love my pig. What can I say?"
That's deep. That's deep.
That is.
Ocean deep.
I once had to cut a date early because I had to go home and feed my rabbits.
Dude, I got a real question for you guys. I wonder if that means George doesn't eat pork or bacon. I mean,
You can't eat the animal anymore if you
Yeah,
have
'cause
it.
now you're
No,
attached
no,
to
no.
it.
right? No, I'm not saying.
An actual friend of mine, she owned a pig for
Okay,
years.
tell
She
me.
recently had to give it up. Not only did she continue to eat pork, occasionally, without thinking about it, when she'd give table scraps to the pig.
Aw.
That's messed up. That's
It was
real.
never done on purpose.
Was she
but,
from the
you
South?
know, no, it's just, when you're used to giving the pig table scraps, and then, you might eat some pork chops, and
Oh
you don't
my
think
God.
about it.
I don't know if I could.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that.
That's some dark stuff, man. So I want to tell you guys about this. So once Max saved George's life. No joke. It was January 16th, 1994.
Okay.
Do you guys remember what happened January 16th, 1994?
Earthquake?
Northridge happened.
Northridge,
Yeah.
okay.
It was
I
it
was 10.
The shooting?
was
there a shooting?
Earthquake.
No, earthquake.
Oh, okay.
I mean, maybe you were too young. I was like 9.
He's from
Yeah,
Oakland.
I was
Oh, you
like
were far
You
away.
would know.
It was 3 or 4.
That's right. Yeah,
probably.
the big Northridge earthquake happened.
Okay.
Right, the big one. I mean, since then, I mean, we've all talked about the big one, but nobody has ever said anything's gotten as close as Northridge. Because I mean, remember the freeways
Actually,
collapsed.
I feel like we
Oh.
haven't had really an earthquake since
Well, I
Northridge.
mean, yeah,
We've
mini
had
earth-
several other ones.
Mini ones, but not that
not a
scale.
real. I mean, dude, the like, do you remember? You know, have you ever gone up where Valencia is, where like
Yeah.
the freeway? The reason that interchange is so new compared to other freeways in Los Angeles is because that whole
thing
interchange collapsed. Like people were driving, it came down, and like people went off the freeway, like flying off. It was crazy, dude. Like that was a big one. So anyway, in the early, all I remember was I was living in San Gabriel at the time. All I saw was the pool was just swinging back and forth at the apartments. Like that's what I remember.
Shit.
But anyway, so in the early morning hours, the Northridge earthquake happened, right? George was in his bed, and Max was sleeping with him, like he always does. So they were
Just a normal night.
just a normal night. They were just sleeping together in bed, right? Just like a man and his pig, a man and his son. Nothing wrong with that. So Max starts squealing uncontrollably. Max is freaking out, right?
Yeah.
George gets annoyed about this, but suddenly everything just starts exploding and falling over. Like
Yeah.
everything's collapsing, right? So, I mean, as you can tell, Max sensed something
Well,
was coming.
animals can usually
Right.
sense that
Yeah.
stuff.
So George got up, right? So George decides that since his mansion is on a hill, he wants to be on the street if it collapses. So he starts running out of his mansion towards the street. He's carrying his pig in his arms.
Oh my god.
So he's running out toward the street. He's carrying his
That's
pig.
quite a sight to see.
He's carrying his pig in his arms. And he's also completely naked.
Oh, nice.
That's quite a sight to see.
That's a sight. That's a sight to see. Yes.
If you didn't,
So wait, he's sleeping naked in his bed
With his
with
pig.
a pig.
Yeah.
That just
Just-
seems very
just
uncomfortable to me.
a father and his son.
Okay,
you people.
that's even more weird. A father
Yeah,
and
that-
his son,
that-
and he's sleeping naked.
That's even weirder.
Listen,
Yeah.
Courtney.
Pig has like this coat and it's really warm
And
to
it's gonna be
sleep next to one.
bristly. It's not soft skin. It's
Yeah.
not soft hair. It's bristly.
Listen.
Maybe he used shampoo.
Until Courtney,
He does.
Courtney,
That pig is
until-
pampered.
until you have children or until you have a pig that you've snuggled and spooned with.
Or a big fat
no room
husband,
to
yeah.
talk.
Well, I sleep
I'm-
with my dogs. Sleep on my bed, but I will
Okay.
not sleep naked with them. That's weird.
You know, clearly you don't
man and his
have
pig.
that.
Man
you
and
don't
his
have
pig,
that
man.
mother. I mean, you have that mother-son relationship then.
Sometimes it gets hot in your house.
Okay.
Sometimes
All
it
right.
gets hot.
That's so funny.
Listen, let me tell you something about a father and a son's relationship
Oh
as it
my
applies to me.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Okay.
I'm
If we
telling
want to
you-
go down this
I'm
path,
telling you guys this
Getting
only
deep.
because one, I have no shame. Two,
Sure.
my cat's dead and buried. He's dead. He can't hurt me anymore.
Okay.
My cat
Is the kitty
was
your
never. I
daddy?
think I've told you guys about my cat.
Yeah.
My cat's a monster.
Okay.
He was never neutered, and I have scars all over my body from just the times he's cut me up. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not a sweet, gentle. I didn't even know cats could be sweet and gentle. He was a monster. He's sweet though sometimes.
Yeah.
Even though he's wounding me, sometimes I'm reading a book. He'll cuddle up with me. He'll be real sweet. You know, he's like, "Hey, baby, I'm not gonna hurt you. You know, I love you." Or he'll be like, "Hey, Noosh, feed me.
Yeah.
Come on, man, just feed me." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hey, no problem. His name's Smokey."
Smokey.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude, I'm- all right,
That's
Smokey,
funny.
I'll feed you.
My girl cloud name was Cloudy. Yeah, Smokey and Cloudy.
Well, I mean, the thing is about my cat that because he's not neutered, when I'm in bed, I got my blankets on, whatever. He climbs up into bed, kind of drunk. He comes in drunk to my bed, stumbles into the room. He's not like sleeping. He doesn't always sleep in my bed, but he stumbles into my room.
he's
sometimes
feeling
drunk,
something tonight.
right? And he jumps up onto my bed,
I know where this is going.
gets up on my knee, blankets between us, But he's like, like kind of like doing that like bristly purr that cats do,
Yeah.
like a tomcat purr,
Uh-huh.
and he just does this thing, and I've kicked him off. I'd be like, "Hey, get off me, Smokey!" And he gets mad. He's like, "Ah," like he gets like real mad, Eventually, I'm just like, "All right, just finish and just be done, and I'm asleep. Just do your thing and get out of here." So I mean, just that's a man and his son.
Thank you for that one.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes a man and his pet has that
So
relationship.
you were the cookie.
I was the cookie. I was the abused spouse also.
Oh my god.
You know,
I was gonna
because
say,
afterwards,
He
if I
would beat you up and then use you.
he sleeps and I'll pet him after he sleeps. He's like, he'll scratch me. He's like, don't touch me.
After he was done?
After he's done with me. And then later, when he's hungry or he just wants to cuddle up, he come back. Baby, it's okay. Just we're good.
That's a
we're
thug
good.
cat right there.
He's a monster, dude. I like to think
Why
that
didn't you just get rid of him?
No, I loved him. I was an abused spouse. I like to think that wherever he is, he's terrorizing someone bigger than him. So,
Oh my god, that is
George-
the greatest cat story.
George is running down towards the street, naked, holding his pet pig.
Okay.
Right during an earthquake.
Yes.
Quote, Max was with me and woke me up minutes before it happened, and I was yelling at him for waking me up when everything just exploded. So I'm naked with Max and running because I'm on a house on a hill, and if it's going down, I want to be on the street next to the other house. George runs to his guest house to wake his friend. His friend runs out of the house also naked,
What is it with Hollywood? They just all sleep naked?
and he's got a gun.
Oh, nice.
Which one?
His friend thought someone was breaking in. So George grabs a sheet of paper. So during this earthquake, his friend has a gun. He's got a pig. He grabs a sheet
They're
of
both
paper.
naked.
Both naked. He grabs a sheet of paper and starts writing a note to his mother.
He
Okay.
thinks he's gonna die.
And the reason why is because he says, and I'm trying to write a note to my folks, trying to explain to them in case we die, there's not what it seems. 2 naked men, a gun, and
And a pig. So wild night in Hollywood.
So George did eventually stop sleeping with his pig. Quote, he said, you get a lot of grief from people when you sleep with a pig. And that's why he stopped sleeping with his pig.
I'm sure Max was heartbroken.
So Max, he nearly died in 2001. George Clooney's best friend, Tommy Hinckley, ran him over in the driveway one night.
Aw.
What? Is
Quote-
so that's why the pig looks like that.
maybe he got messed up.
Shit.
Max is a black pig, and it was dark, which is, I mean, that's kind of sounds in this era. It sounds messed up. Hey, he was black.
He's a black
He
pig.
had it come. He had a hoodie. You know, I didn't see him. He looked dangerous.
He was a black dark pig. What did you
Like-
expect me to do?
Like he got ran over for walking while black. You know what I mean?
Basically, and being a pig.
And being a pig.
It's messed up.
I mean,
Pigs' life matter.
Usually it's the pigs that are, doing it to the young black men, but this time it's like a weird compilation of that.
That's what you get.
Know?
You little black pig. But he made it, right?
Yeah.
All right,
He's
good, he's good.
It seems like it's funny now, but at the time, it certainly wasn't. We thought he might have lost a leg. Thank God George and I are best friends. I think he has forgiven me, but he was really upset at the time. That was Tommy Hinckley, what he said. In 2006, George was hanging out with his friend Danny DeVito. He was in New York to promote his new film, The Good German. So it was quite a time ago. And they had some friends, and they went to an Italian restaurant in Manhattan. They proceeded to drink a lot and get wasted.
Nice.
Unbeknownst to him, Max was quietly dying in his home back in Hollywood. Max was 19 years old, which was unheard of for pot-bellied pigs because they usually live to be 12 to 15. Like, he got old. Like, he was a real old pig. I mean, he was partially blind, suffered from arthritis.
Aw.
So
Ran over.
Yeah, it ran over. So George knew the end was near. I mean,
Yeah.
like, his pig was dying of old age. George never has openly discussed how Max's death has impacted him, but many believe he was devastated by the loss.
Well, yeah, he had him for almost 20 years.
Yeah, for 2 decades, right? So, I mean, he just died like an hour ago. He was an old pig, as the vets have ever seen. I was really surprised because he's been a really big part of my life.
Aw.
He was once asked if he would ever get a new pig, and George said, I think Max covered all my pig needs. I'm just saying this, though. In 2006, is when the pig died, and that was really around the time George started getting into serious relationships, like longer term relationships. Before, I mean, when did he get married? Like it was
only a few years ago.
Yeah, like 2012ish, I want to say, right? I think he started the march to marriage after 2006. 6 years later, he got married. I'm just saying.
I just want to know how big of a problem really was the pig. Like George Clooney's the man, you know what I mean, and just a pig. Like unless he's doing weird stuff with the pig.
See, that's the thing. Was he doing weird stuff with
I
the
think
pig?
he was. I think it was innocent, but it's still
Yeah.
really weird.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, though.
That would ruin
Was
so
he,
much. For
was
me
he just
if
a
I found out he
crazy,
was
crazy
doing stuff with
like
pigs.
pig man, or was he like Michael Jackson and gave the pig
And
wine?
the pig.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
I mean, I think that it's just that pigs are a lifestyle choice.
It is.
I mean, dogs are a lifestyle choice, but I think pigs even more so
Yeah.
with how they are, and I think that people are less accepting.
I think
pigs.
that's the thing with non-typical pets. Like when you have, let's say you have a horse, it's way more of a commitment than a dog or a cat.
Yeah.
And
You
I
have
mean,
to change your life around.
it's like dating somebody who has like a pet that's a major part of their life. You
Yeah.
gotta adjust.
Good
to
point.
that. On a side note, George has had other pets. George also has 2 French bulldogs named Bud and Lou. And as it turns out, they were gifts to his former girlfriend, Celine Bellatran. But when she left, she just left the dogs.
So he just has a habit of
He-
giving pets
he-
and then they give them back
Right.
to him.
Right.
He
That's,
must be a terrible pet giver.
Courtney, what do you got for us
Well,
today?
interestingly, it is on the topic of marriage.
Oh,
So,
good segue.
it is a good
man and his
segue.
son.
Yes.
Tell me about marriage.
So I'm just gonna give this brief little mini story because
Yeah.
I came up across it while I was doing the other story, and I just think it's interesting. So in by the way, this all relates to India.
Oh.
So they like in some villages they like to have frogs get married.
Okay.
Sorry. Frogs.
There's a moment where everybody's trying to process what that meant.
Is it just a regular marriage, or is it they have like a
It's-
banquet?
They have a full ceremony.
Wait. Frogs are marrying each other?
Frogs are marrying
What are the
each
chances
other.
this
Okay.
frog will become a prince?
Because by the way, there's some cultures where and it's not like an actual like marriage, like there's gonna be some effing going on, but there's like a cultural tradition in some Asian countries, I can't remember which one, where like the brides to be marry like, and I can't remember what, they marry like an animal or a thing or something.
Well,
But
there's
it's
some
like
of that
but
stuff.
it's not like an actual marriage. It's like a tradition. Like
Yeah, no, there is some of
it's
that
like a
stuff
thing.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, this is so it's in some Hindu villages. They have frogs married because they think it'll please Lord Indra, who is in
Okay.
charge of rain.
There we
Okay.
go.
And so,
Yeah.
if the frogs croak and everything, it'll help bring the rain and everything like that. And so, by having them get married, that'll please her, and then that'll make the rain happen. But I mean, they go all out. So this one wedding that happened, they sometimes use artificial frogs, but they also use real frogs too. So like in one wedding,
Wait, what the hell is an artificial frog?
fake frogs.
Probably like a
A
rubber
wooden-
frog.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like artificial frogs.
Like a clone frog.
Yeah.
No, just a fake one.
I don't know. I mean, it just says artificial. I'm thinking fake frogs. I don't
Like a
think.
frog statue or a rubber frog
Yeah,
or a
but-
plastic
Standing
frog
frog.
or
But
a
they
chew
also
toy.
they get
Clay
real
frog.
frogs. So like one wedding that happened, they brought the bride and the groom, and they came from 2 different villages, 68 miles apart. And then they had the whole
Jesus
wedding
Christ.
ceremony. More than 250 men, women, and children attended the wedding ceremony.
Dang, that's a popular dude. I mean, you know what though?
Yeah.
Maybe not. You know why? Think about this. I mean, here I would be like, dang, dude, if I can get like, personally, I'd be like, dude, if I can get 50 people to come to my wedding, that's great for me. You know, I mean, I feel really good.
This
But
is
dude,
250.
Dude, here's the thing about 250 though. Here's the
Aw,
one thing.
look at the frogs.
That is really effing cute. I'm not.
That's
gonna
pretty
lie.
freaking cute.
That is really. I'm not gonna lie. I approve. We're gonna post this tonight.
Okay.
But I approve this. But here's
How
what-
do they get the hat and the?
They
and
make it, but I think
Okay.
this is more of a westernized thing. But if you go to these Indian,
Yeah, that's true.
the Indian one, they actually do though make
Yeah.
clothes for the frogs to have the whole, ceremonial look.
But
Yeah.
by the way, I
That
want
was
to say
so
this though.
funny.
By the way, I was gonna be impressed with the whole 250 people.
a
Dang!
lot.
But here's the thing though. Think about it. Not in India. It's not.
Yeah,
250
that's nothing.
250 is
Yeah,
like
good point.
10 people in India. Like you can do better, India. Like I can get my 50 is ratio wise is way more than your 250.
Good point. Okay.
Try to go India and there's actually no people anywhere. That's a harder thing to do.
Yeah, I can throw a rock and find like 200 people to come to my wedding.
Just go outside. Everybody want to come to the wedding? Oh, all right.
Everyone's invited. Okay, so that kind of leads into, so we're still going to be on the topic of weddings, and I'm going to talk to you.
This is the thing that you couldn't find anything else about it.
Yeah, and I'm so disappointed because I know it could have been great.
By the way, though, all I know is that picture, which had a top hat and like a white dress kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
I mean, in India, it would have been like a Nehru jacket
exactly.
and also like a sari.
And then like henna on the
Yeah,
frog
like a
or
henna,
something.
like a sari.
and
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, but that picture was from a wedding
was?
in India.
Oh, was
Oh,
it?
really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
wow.
Well, I'm surprised.
There's some
Western.
whitewashed Indians.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, I'm like pointing at Courtney. Yeah, I mean, that's, you know.
In her defense, she's half, so
I know.
Yeah, I'm
true.
only half. So.
She was born that way. Baby, you were born with it.
maybe it's Maybelline.
Okay. So let's go and talk about, now I'm gonna butcher these names. I'm just
And they're
putting that
Indian
out there.
names too.
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best, but I'm gonna butcher them. So my research started with this guy when I came across this, and I'm just like, oh my god, I wish I could find more. So this is the Maharaja of Junagadh.
Okay. Sounds legit.
Yeah. So he's a Maharaja. He owned 800 dogs. Okay. He
800?
loved.
You know the problem with that
dogs.
is. You know the problem with that is. Listen, I love dogs too. I know a lot of people love dogs. Here's the thing about dogs, and I believe this very thoroughly about dogs, right? Even aside from the monster that was my cat, you know, I had a dog too. The thing about dogs is, one, you can never have a dog and not give it a name, and the reason why is, dude, it's a dog, dude. It's like it's almost a person. Like you gotta give a dog a name.
absolutely.
Here's the thing about 800 dogs though, dude. There's no way you'll know all the names like that. That's just gluttonous. You know what I mean? Like how do you even? You know what it is?
Put the
That's like
name
having
on the
800
collar.
wives.
He's
you know?
an Indian prince. He probably has 800 wives.
That's true.
He does have
That's
wives.
true.
Give them like T-shirts with their names
But
on
he
them.
treated the dogs. He treated the dogs way better than his wives, to the annoyance
Oh.
of his wives. And I'll touch on that
Dude,
a
if he
little
was George
bit.
Clooney, by the way, the reason he has 800 dogs is because he gave a dog to his wives.
Every
and
single
wives
one.
are
Give him
like,
back.
Every freaking girlfriend.
Yeah, every girlfriend.
Well,
they give him back.
I'm surprised in learning about this though, because in a couple of brief other things that I read, apparently dogs have been like really popular among Indians. Like they love them. And I just think to my own dad, who never really liked dogs growing up, now he does. He has his dog Daphne. Like he'll go take her down to Baskin Robbins to get her ice cream.
Wait, the dog gets ice cream?
The dog gets ice cream, which when we're just like, who is this man? This is not our father. But
He's like, I love you.
So his
I
kids
love
don't
you
get ice
more.
cream, but
you're
his-
my favorite child. I love you
No,
the most.
when
Daphne.
we first basically kind of sprung the dog on him, and we called him the night, like, okay, how is Daphne? Said, are you doing okay? She's just a puppy and everything. He's like, my sister called him, and she said literally he was whispering on the phone, I just put her to sleep. I gave her some warm
Oh my
honey.
gosh,
I,
you
go,
know
I,
what I
gave her,
love.
I brushed her and I gave her some warm milk and honey. We're just like,
By the
what?
way, I always get a little nervous when I'm talking to my friends and they say they put someone to sleep.
Yeah.
Because I'm almost assuming it's like, oh no!
Oh, we're
I
talking
put,
about pets, yeah.
I put my son to sleep. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was just. It
What
was
did he
like,
do?
What did he do? Probably deserved it, but what do you do?
Oh man. Okay, so the Maharaja. So he was part of the British Raj ruling era, and he was in charge of the area which is now Gujarat in India.
Okay.
So that was his section. So he had 800 dogs.
I mean, I'm saying okay, like I know.
no,
where
I don't know
mean,
where it
no,
is
no.
either. But
Yeah.
anyway, so he had 800.
It's in the middle. Like
it's somewhere.
It's in the middle.
But of course now probably the name has changed because they only just not recently, but I mean, so many years after the British left,
Yeah.
they decided to change the names
It's
back
probably
to
called
Indian.
like North Lancashire, India. I mean, that's what the British always do, you know.
Okay, so how did he treat his dogs? Well, he treated them better than his wife. So each of them had their own room. Okay, so 800
Wow.
dogs each had their own room.
800 rooms.
800
Huh.
rooms. They each had their own telephone because in case they want to make phone calls.
Oh, yeah.
you
Tell me
know?
it was one of those like things where you can like
Dogs
just
make calls all the
dog-
time.
You can like press the button or
Just
something.
like
or-
stop making those long distance phone calls at night.
Was it a phone, like a human phone or dog phone?
It's just a telephone. I'm
This
assuming
is
it's
dog phone?
it's a telephone,
Okay.
like a human phone.
That's weird.
What's a dog phone?
Yeah.
You press the
800
button
dogs
and the
to
dog
order
can go like
800 pizzas and see who shows up first.
So each had their own telephone and a servant.
I
each.
knew that was coming.
Each one had their own servant. Okay, and in addition to that, he had a hospital, I guess his own hospital maybe, and a British vet that took care of the dog. So he made sure everything. Now, if a dog died, he would have Chopin's funeral march played at the funeral, and a state of mourning would be declared for the dog that died. Okay.
Oh,
Would
wow.
they get a new dog?
Alas, Skippy, he was a good dog.
I love dogs, but that's
What do
He lived
Indi-
in room 795.
what do Indian princes name their dogs? I wonder.
little
Well, I'll
excessive.
get to that.
Okay,
So
good.
his
Oh, you're
favorite
gonna read all 800
dog.
names?
His favorite dog was Roshanara. Okay, that was his
Roshanara.
favorite one.
Cool name.
Again, I know I'm butchering it. But anyway, apparently Roshanara fell in love with Bobby, who was the golden retriever.
Bobby?
Bobby, yeah, belonged to the
Was he from Europe?
so he belonged to Nawab of Mangrol. I think another Maharaja.
Okay.
But anyway, so his dog name was Bobby. They decided they loved each other, so they're going to have a wedding. The wedding happened over 3 days, and close to 22,000 rupees were spent for the wedding.
Is that a lot?
I'm assuming it's a lot.
Okay. Huh.
Well, I was trying to look up the conversion for it back in, because this is in the early 1900s.
yeah, and the GDP for
that
India,
must be-
like pre-British,
Yeah.
was huge. I mean, India was 30% of the world's economy, so
Damn.
the
Yeah.
GDP was way higher.
I
back then.
couldn't really
Yeah.
find, or I didn't know really where to look, but when I
Yeah.
put it in for today's terms, I think it came out to like $340.
That's not.
It's
which
not
is
accurate.
not.
Yeah,
but I
it-
mean, for Indian money, I mean, I feel like that's a lot.
I mean,
Well,
you
right,
can
right.
multiply that by like at
But
least
no, here's the thing,
100
no.
now.
What you're trying to describe when you say $300 is like the scope of how much money was spent.
Yeah.
What you have to say is, considering the GDP back then, you have to say it's like either, and I don't know which it would be, $3,000 to $30,000. Like,
It has to be.
like-
It might be more than that. It might be 300,000.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
It was
'Cause
like
it's-
maybe 300,000
Because
probably
things
more accurate.
things in 1900 they cost $1 now. They probably cost
Yeah,
a cent back then.
exactly,
So
yeah.
it's at
Yeah.
least a 100.
But I mean, just for your dogs, and they're getting married
I know,
to each other.
but they're princess dogs.
They are princess
They
dogs.
are. So let me tell you about the
They have
ceremony.
servants.
Okay, so well, as part of the guests, other royals and dignitaries were invited. They were part of the guest list.
Did
Okay.
they also get to bring their dogs?
Well, maybe
That is the real question.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so part of the processional, there were 250 dogs walk down the aisle in brocade, which is
Dude, no wonder they needed 3 days, man.
This
I
is
mean,
crazy.
they didn't even finish
This
like
is
getting in
insane.
front of
Yeah.
like the priest or whatever until the second day, you know?
I am appalled because all of these dogs, and who was cleaning up all of that
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
shit,
Oh,
dude.
God.
I didn't even
Who was
think about
cleaning up
that. Oh.
All of that.
There's a servant per dog.
yeah, there's a
So really-
servant per dog.
Oh,
so.
by the way, I really
The
hope-
wedding though, there's 800 dogs plus the 250.
well, maybe the 250 came from the 800. I don't know if others brought their
Oh,
dogs or not.
okay.
I don't know, but
by the
a lot
way,
of dogs.
by the way, there had to be like other shit involved, like elephant shit. Because I mean, when you have a wedding, and
maybe.
you're,
Well,
like,
if they're doing it traditionally
Yeah,
too,
you
and then they're
gotta have-
Maharajas, they gotta have
that's what I'm
Indian
saying.
elephants.
Definitely, he had an elephant somewhere up in that.
Where's my elephant?
Yeah.
They're definitely eating good, so you know what that means.
I had to look up brocade because I didn't know what that was. So
Okay.
it's a rich fabric, usually of silk. It has a raised pattern, and it usually uses gold or
So,
silver
so
thread.
the dogs were wearing
The
dresses.
dogs are wearing brocade. This
Oh.
Classy.
fabric
Awesome.
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
In addition to that, Bobby was walked down the aisle, and he had a he
Never
had
was
gold-
it more appropriate
he
to
had-
be walked down the aisle, right? I mean, literally, you're walked down the aisle. Have your bags with you.
Walk the dog down
Right.
the aisle.
He was wearing
Classic.
gold bracelets. He and a necklace,
Sorry.
and there was a military band, and he was received by a guard of honor.
It's rich
Okay.
people, man.
How does a dog? Do dogs even have wrists?
That's a good point. How does
For
he
Well, you
stay
put them
bracelets?
on their arms,
Well,
I
you have
guess.
it.
It has to be like a tight bangle.
Right?
Yeah, and plus
Yeah.
Indian bangles, they usually do like the jingling thing. Like that's what I always remember.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
so
Yeah.
you just
I
hear
got you.
tick, 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 tick
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Okay.
So
That
that's
makes
how
sense.
Bobby was dressed.
Okay, Bob.
Roshanara, okay, so she was of course shampooed and perfumed. She was covered in jewels and also wearing brocade. And then she was carried in a silver palanquin, which is just like
It's the carrying thing,
the
right?
carrying thing. Yeah,
it's
so
like
she
two
was
people-
carried down
Oh
in
my
that.
God.
Okay. And so that's how. So they were brought down the aisle, and then
Betrothed.
they got married, and then there was the huge.
Did they consummate?
Indian? They didn't say anything in that thing. Like I said, it was so hard to find information on this, and I wish I could find more. And then within the one article, this was the sentence. I'm like, oh, I wish I could find more. Apparently, this was a very popular thing for northern Indian Maharajas to do. It was to have extravagant weddings for their dogs. Like that was the in vogue thing to do. Which brings me to today.
By the way, now I understand why northern India like fell to the southern Indian. What's called the
They spent $300,000 on dog weddings.
Yeah. I can't. The Mughals, right? The Mughal Empire from like the mid-south area, like took over all of India, right? That's why, because those guys were warriors. They invented military technology. They went to fight these guys, and they're like, "What the hell is this?" They're seeing the dog weddings. What the hell is
weddings?
This? All right, yeah, you belong to us now.
So this brings me to today, where dog weddings are still a thing.
Oh,
so much so to the point
I'm
that
upset.
there are actually
That I've never been invited to a dog
there
I
are
wanna go to the
actually
dog wedding.
sites where people can go to match their dogs with other dogs.
Oh.
There's Tin Dog.
Why
Dude,
didn't we think of that? The news
dude, that's a
Are
great
these
app. Oh
like
my
dating
gosh.
apps?
I tried going to them, but it wasn't coming up, so I
You're
don't know if I
not a
couldn't
dog.
access
You
it.
can't
No, but I still,
appropriate their
no,
Hold up, guys.
no, but I wanted to see what
I
it
got a
was all
plan.
about.
I got a plan. What we do is I'm going to cut this whole thing out of the story, the Tin Dogs thing. We make an app called Tin Dogs. There's a lot of people in downtown LA that have too much money on their hands and too much time.
Yeah.
And we can make a Tinder dating app and make some real cash.
Yeah.
bro.
Want to match your dogs?
Yeah, match your dude.
Can I tell you some of the other apps that
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
come
go
up?
Get to begin charging
Is
the
it
international
playing?
expansion.
They're not as clever as Tin Dog, but these are some of the other ones: Date My
Oh.
Pet, Dog Date, You Must Love Dogs Dating, Pets Dating, and Personals.
Is that for cats? Is
Personals,
that for cats?
I think I've heard of dating my dog
yeah.
before, though.
Maybe.
What about
I think so.
Fetch.com? You know?
No, that'd be a good one to have.
Fetch.com. I mean, what about I don't know, Water and Kibble? You know?
Doggy style.
You know, we might be onto something. We should
Puss in
spitball
Boots.
some more. Let me show you a couple. So in 2014, there was a dog wedding. There was over 1,000 guests that attended. This wedding ceremony lasted for 6 hours. I couldn't.
Wait,
even,
so these are not are these Indians?
these are Indians.
These are Indians also?
These are Indians.
Wow.
This happened in Dibrugarh, the state of Assam. I don't know. They had special outfits for the dogs, and it was a 6-hour wedding ceremony. Another one in 2016, there was over 5,000 in attendance.
Wow.
This was in the Porara village in northern India of Uttar Pradesh. And so they did the whole thing. They got married. They were wearing special outfits. They did the whole Indian ceremony thing and then had a big feast afterwards.
I want my dogs to get married.
You know the problem with this is this just highlights income inequality. You know why? Because think about this. The rich people in India can certainly marry their dogs, but the poor people in India, their dogs have to live in sin. You know? Unmarried, having children out of wedlock, clearly.
Yeah. I just really, because I just saw my note.
Infidelity all over the place.
The Maharaja, so when he decided to, so after the British left and then Pakistan was starting to be formed and everything, so he migrated to Pakistan, leaving behind, and he took all of his dogs and left his wives behind. That's
Bro.
his level of
Bro, I mean,
commitment.
It's a man with
Yeah.
You know what? The
priorities.
wives were just a reason to get more dogs. Every time you got a wife, it's like, well, I got to give you a dog as a gift. That's a tradition. But he really just kept the girls just like, well, can I have the dog? Like, it's a gift for me. Like, well, yeah. I mean, it's a gift for you, but I'm gonna keep it in my bed. It's for me. First night, it's the king's right.
Yeah.
First night, he gets to sleep with the dog naked. King's right.
Oh, that's just.
Or when you marry, you know, one of the commoners
Yeah.
marries their dog to another dog, the king's right is, well, the female dog stays in my bed tonight.
That is
So
crazy.
you're thinking like prima nocta for dogs. So it's like puppy nocta.
Wasn't that in Braveheart?
Yes.
Yeah, the king's right. Yeah,
The
yeah.
king's right?
Yeah. It's,
Oh,
Sleep
you
with
heard of
your-
that?
sleep-
It's when two people get
yeah.
married, the king's right is to
Stop
sleep
sleeping
with
with our
Right,
wives.
right.
Yeah,
We have war over that.
yeah. There's war.
Now I just can't
It's
stop
insane.
looking at like wedding photos of
Of
dogs.
dogs.
So
It's a
nice.
The
thing.
dogs
It's
just
a
look
thing.
miserable. The dogs don't even want to get married.
They don't even know what's going
they look
on.
miserable.
But it's a thing. I mean, I could go into, but I found this article on psychology.com, but it's this whole thing of dogs and marriage in India, and how this one person is explaining how it's so enmeshed in their culture, because it's just like us where we think the dog is a part of our family. So it translates over for most Indians then, like, oh, well, they have to get married to have a full life. Right. And everything. And, you know, it's this whole thing. It's just like, this one quote, and I actually wrote, I'm like, record scratch, what? You know, like that. Because this is just because she's explaining how so she's like, unfortunately, he has a problem for me right now because I'm having trouble trying to find a bride for him. And it's like, wait, what?
Anything else you want to share?
That would be it.
Wow,
very
guys.
cool stories.
Yeah, I mean, typically, dude, our episodes go way longer because I got like 7 pages of story.
He has like a novel to read.
This is the first time I had 2 pages and like one sentence here. Like, this is the shortest story I ever read. But I mean, definitely, you're gonna be welcome back.
Yeah, man.
You know what? Let me get you back, dude. Let me get you back, dude, for the graffiti episode because I got like an amazing graffiti story.
Okay.
Like, I can't wait. You got pressure to find a good graffiti story. Like, you know, it's gonna be a good one. So, but like next season, you know, next spring. Yeah, I got only 2 more episodes left for this one.
Okay.
So,
go ahead.
Oh, every Tuesday.
Every
we do
Tuesday.
Tuesdays,
Okay.
yeah. So, I mean, I'll schedule ahead.
Yeah.
Schedule
Just let me know.
Whatever. Yeah. So, all right. So, that is our episode on pets this week. Brendan, do you have anything that you want to shout out or promote?
Not this time.
Why don't you shout out to that
Shout out to ice cream place, right?
Yeah, man. Let's get some promotion going.
I just didn't think that shouting them out would match this episode.
No, man. Shout out pets.
I'm going to give another shout out to Coffee Culture because I think it was really cool how they contacted me, and I'm still waiting for someone to edit and release the episode.
Saturday.
No, but you need to promote the ice cream one because it's not a place where people can take their pets for ice cream.
Yeah. Let's do a promotion for one of your shops, Brendan, every episode, and let's just see if we can get
something.
Yeah. Even if the sponsorship
So
is
if somebody's out walking their dog, where should they go get an ice cream treat?
If you're a guy and you dude, I should start doing that, right? All right then. Ken, do you have anything you want to shout out or promote?
No, not at this moment.
Okay. Courtney?
Not at this time.
Chioki, you have anything you want to promote?
No. Oh, my I also do my thing, my pod.
Your pod, yeah, do it.
Since my spot was given away, I do Monday nights at 8:30.
Okay, so you got your show back then.
Yeah, I got my show back. I also do. Have you guys heard of the Anchor app?
No.
Oh my God, I'm about to blow you guys' mind. So it's basically you can record a pod, just you on your own. Record it. They're 4 minutes each. You can upload it on your Twitter, Facebook.
Mini pods.
And mini pods, but you can also shares it on Apple iTunes.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, by the way, really quick though, what's the name of your show?
Yeah. I'll Be Right Black.
I'll Be Right Black.
I like that.
That's good. That's good, man. What how can they find you? Like Facebook.com/ or
Instagram at El Chiablo.
Okay.
Twitter, same, and then Facebook is just my name, Chioke Walker, CHIOKE, and last name Walker.
Okay.
I'm the only Chioke.
Facebook.com/Chioke Walker.
Yes.
Okay.
There it is.
Cool. All right, and we can post a link to that stuff. We'll post a link to your podcast.
Appreciate it.
Do you have a podcast page?
Yeah.
We'll post a link to that.
Yeah. I'll send it to you.
All
but
right,
the
cool.
podcast is just I'll Be Right Black, same thing.
Okay. Cool. Every time you say
That's
it.
a great name.
Every time
That's
you
a great
say it,
name.
dude. Yeah, it is. If you have a spot open, let me be on the show.
Hell yeah.
Before the season ends.
Absolutely.
Dude.
Yeah.
We have a couple weeks left.
For sure,
All right,
man.
cool. Yeah. So I mean, I'll promote our show. Please like
Comment,
us. Comment. I know you guys are out there. I see you 9 people in Japan. I know you were listening to the show.
Who are you 9 people from Japan?
I don't know, man,
Just
but they're
leave us a
there.
review.
That one dude in Lithuania. I know you listened. I see you. And the 100-something people or whatever across the U.S. Just drop in, just throw a few stars, review, just say, hey, they're cool, or just say, Noosh talks too much, or just, if you really want to mess with me, guys, give us as many stars as you want, and then just write this, Noosh, was that it? That's fine. I'll take that too.
There's our test to see if they're really listening.
I'll take what I can get.
Let us know what Power Ranger you think we are.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, I mean, like us, rate us, whatever, and we will post more episodes. Expect more episodes whenever this one posts. It's happening at some point. So anyway, all right, guys, thank you very much for joining us for another episode. The song that we are ending with is Seconds Away by Life Under the Influence. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time. See you later.
Bye.
Ryan Anush Are Dead is made possible thanks to KDHR, the student-operated radio station of California State University, Dominguez Hills. For more information about KDHR, please visit www.kdhr.net. The intro song for this show is Space Ace by Blind. The intermission songs are Brambles in the Breeze by Protricity, Lost in Time by Your Daily Water and Expert Novice, and Radical Dreamers Angelic Mix by Tim Shihai. This music is made available thanks to Overclocked Remix. For more information, please visit ocremix.org.